Hello and welcome to episode 120 of the SockBunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as SockBunny, and I'm recording in sunny Florida in the United States of America. It's finally sunny. The last couple of days it's been overcast, and even this morning. And that's why I didn't record yesterday, because we had no sun, and that's really the only good lighting I have in here. So today, while it's sunny, I am going to go ahead and record. I did want to do a craft room tour this week. I just never got around to it, so hopefully one day this week I'll get a chance to do that also. Did I say? I don't think I said the date. Today is Monday, December 30th, 2013. And I have my show notes off to the side here. So let me see where we are. First, we have announcements. I'm trying to use my tablet as a mouse pad. That's not working very well. Let's see. Who am I? I am SockBunny pretty much everywhere on the internet, such as Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, Twitter, iTunes, YouTube. The blog is at sockbunnyknitandfit.blogspot.com. The email address is sockbunnyknitandfit@gmail.com. On Etsy, you can find me as sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. On Facebook, you can find me as SockBunny Studios or under my real name, Kimberly Pacini, Pacini. And if you play Candy Crush, I feel sorry for you, but friend me and I'll send you lives and you can send me lives. So what are we going to talk about today? We have announcements, finished objects, works in progress, fitness, stash enhancement, tips and tricks, what I am watching and reading, favorite things, knit and crochet alongs and events, Ask SockBunny, and the SockBunny retreat. So let's hop down to announcements. I have not gone to the post office, so if I owe you a prize, it's still sitting here, and I really apologize. It's not like me to procrastinate that much. I will get them out this week. That is my promise to you. I will get them out this week. Let's see. The SockBunny retreat, the last day to sign up is tomorrow, and don't forget your payment is due by January 4th. And if you want to vend and or send prizes, there's still time. Vendors, I would really need to know as soon as possible. And if you're going to attend, I definitely need to know by the 31st. If you just want to vend, you could let me know later. I do have 2 slots still open for vendors. And if you want to know more information, episode 117 was a summary of the retreat information. Just make sure you have your payment to me by January 4th. And let's see. I did a shop update yesterday, and I'm continuing with my theme of colorway of the week. So my colorway of the week this week is police call box. Notice the shirt, police call box. So I have it on 2 bases. I have it on my Miracle base, which is the twisty, and they're both dyed tonally. And I have it on the Sunshine base, which is the sparkly base. So there you go. And if you go and it's sold out, you can always do a custom order. And that's it. Oh, the shop is sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. Let's talk about knitting. Finished objects. First, I have a very adorable finished object. I made a bunny illusion dishcloth. I tried to show it last week, but I couldn't really show it very well because it wasn't done. Illusion knitting is done where you have 2 different colors of yarn, and all you do is use knits and purls to raise and lower them so that different things show. So this is what it looks like flat, and you really can't tell what it is, right? It's an illusion. But if I tilt it, can you see the bunny? There you go. Oh, you can see even better there. So it just uses knits and purls to do this. This is definitely something a beginner could do. Definitely a beginner could do this. So it's really fun. If you look on Ravelry and do a search under patterns for illusion knitting, there's all kinds. I mean, they even have Harry Potter scarves and all different kinds of stuff under there. So, but dishcloths, of course, are fun. So there you go. It's a bunny. I know you're shocked. So that is my first finished object of the week. My one of 2 finished objects. And I've been trying to finish things instead of start things. It's been really hard for me not to cast new things on. Next, I did finish my Sedona. The only thing I haven't done is gone to the store to buy clasps because I don't like to go to the store this time of year because all the crazies are out. Actually, what I normally say is all the amateur shoppers are out. I'm a professional shopper. So I'm going to put it on to show you. It's a little wrinkled because I've had it just laying here. I did wash and block it. I just haven't, put the clasp on yet. This is Sedona by C2K Knits. And the only thing I need to do is get a clasp. If you'll remember in the past, if you've been watching a while, I've made a purple Sedona, which I have over here. And the clasps I did on this one is I had done these kind of clasps that fit into each other, like this. And I'm probably going to get the same kind because I really, really like these. They're very easy to put on. I didn't weave in my ends very well. That's okay. And so, I mean, for now, I could just use a shawl pin to hold it closed, but I want to get the clasps. So I'm very happy with the color. This is my very own dyed Sugar DK in the colorway This Is My Jam. And I love it. I did learn one valuable lesson with this. There was one section where I was too lazy to alternate balls, and when you're using hand-dyed yarn, you really should alternate balls. So I don't know if it's going to show up on here. Yes, see this part right across here where it's noticeably lighter than the rest? I didn't alternate balls there. And you definitely can tell. It wasn't enough, it didn't bother me enough to rip it out and fix it. But I did learn a lesson that with hand-dyed yarn, you really do need to, especially kettle-dyed yarn, you need to alternate balls. And that's just so you don't get significant areas that are lighter or darker than others. So if you're a newer sweater knitter, or if you haven't ever knit with hand-dyed yarn before, let my mistake be a lesson to you. I'm not going to fix it because it's not even really that noticeable, and it's my sweater and I don't care. So if it was for somebody else, I would probably over dye it to fix it, but I'm not going to go to that trouble. So I'm very happy with it. We are going to be having a sweater knit along starting January 1st, which we will talk about later. So those are my 2 finished objects for the week. And then we have works in progress. I've only been working on one thing because I have not been casting anything on. I've been trying to behave myself. And this is a sock head hat that I started a while back. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Whoops, it's inside out. And I can't remember what the yarn is, but I think it was gifted to me by Sam from the Knit Run Dig podcast. Okay, seriously? Here we go. So I finished the 4 inches of ribbing. I think that's what the pattern calls for. 4 inches of ribbing. And then I started the garter. I mean the stockinette section. So there we go. And I think I was probably about right here when I showed it to you last time. And again, this is a sock head hat. It's where you make a sock out of fingering weight yarn, held single, not double. And it's a free pattern. Like I said, you can find it on Ravelry or just Google sock head hat. So that is all the knitting, believe it or not. I really actually haven't done a whole lot. Oh wait, I did work on my sock yarn blanket, but I only got a couple of squares. Well, probably about 4 squares done. So I'll wait and show that to you next time. I am going to have a New Year's resolution to try to work on it at least 1 block a day. We'll see how that goes. So that's all the knitting. This might be a shorter episode because I don't have a whole lot of extra stuff going on. Okay, fitness. After I do my usual spiel about the fitness along, I do have a funny story to tell you. So every month in the SockBunny group, we have a fitness along. Any day that you work out at least 30 consecutive minutes, or if you wear a pedometer and it says at least 10,000 steps, you can record your workout for the day in the appropriate thread. And once a month I draw a winner. And then we also have been having a poster along, which I do need to draw the winner for the poster along for December in January. But then after that, there won't be any prizes. We'll still have a poster along, but it'll be an unofficial poster along where basically you should already be rewarding yourself with prizes anyway. So you're going to be self-motivating on this. So And all the rules and descriptions are everything are in the Ravelry group. I wanted to show you my fitness poster because I haven't shown it to you long. So if you're a new viewer, I reward myself with fitness goals. And then when I meet the goals, I give myself knitting related or other items. So I originally was saving for an iPad, but I bought a tablet. So now I'm saving for a trip to Disney. So at the top, this poster still says iPad, but I'm saving for another trip to Disney World. So every 300,000 steps, because I wear a pedometer, which I will talk about shortly, every 300,000 steps I get an reward. So like I had gotten myself a Batman shirt, and I got a bicycle knitting bag from the Multi-Craftual shop. I got a Quack Pack t-shirt. So I've earned 2 prizes since the last time I showed you. So I've got a TARDIS mug. Now, all the stuff that's in my prize bin right now is stuff that I bought on my trip to New England in October. So I got this TARDIS mug. Notice a theme. I got this TARDIS mug as my reward. Exploding TARDIS. Supposedly painted by Van Gogh. And I also, one of my prizes is a sweater's quantity of yarn. And if you have been watching since October, you know that I bought 4 sweater quantities of yarn when I was at Webb's in Massachusetts. So that is going to be my reward, but I can't decide which one to use. And in fact, in the thread, the chatter thread for the sweater knit along, I had even said that I was not even going to use any of those. I was going to knit the one of the sweaters from the Hitch book that I reviewed recently, and but I would have to dye that, and I won't be done. It won't be done in time for me to cast on the 1st. So I'm going to postpone working on that because I'm going to do the not Your Girl Friday sweater from there. I feel like I'm talking too fast. So I'm going to use one of the sweater quantities that I bought, but I haven't decided which one yet. So once I decide that next week when I do the podcast, you'll see which one I end up choosing. And I'll probably post it into the chatter thread for the knit along. Anyway, to make a long story short, those are my rewards that I have earned with my fitness steps. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you know that back in April, I started wearing a pedometer, and that's when I started doing this tracking. And remember, if you'll remember, before this, I had done 1,000 fitness miles and had a big giant poster, which I saved. I still have it over here. I had done 1,000 fitness miles, and every 40 miles, I got a reward. And it doesn't have to be a big reward. I mean, you see, it's a mug, or it could be a t-shirt or yarn or a book or whatever you want to be. It could be, I mean, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to be a reward. So, you know, I wear a Fitbit, and I've been wearing the Fitbit Zip, which is the most basic Fitbit, and they sell it for $60 for most places, $60 US. I've been wearing it since April. Well, I had noticed the last few days that it was having trouble syncing, and then when it would sync not the number that was on the display. Well, then finally, I think it was Friday. It was Friday. I tried all day to get it to sync, and it would not sync at all. And that evening, I tried many times to sync it because I had over 11,000 steps that day, and I was not going to miss out on my 11,000 steps. And I started getting really frustrated. And Rachel's boyfriend happened to have come over for dinner that night, and we were all sitting around the table, and I was like, I really can't get this to sync. And even her boyfriend tried to get it to sync, and he couldn't get it to sync. And I was like, I actually started to have a little bit of a meltdown because I had 11,000 steps. I don't want to not get credit for 11,000 steps. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll just go in the morning before spin class. And I'm like, no, they won't be open, because I bought it at Target. I was like, they won't be open. And, you know, spin class, I get 6,000 steps in spin class alone. I was going to spin class Saturday morning. And I was like, really, I was starting to have chest pains. Not like bad chest pains, but like the stress. I could tell the stress was getting to me. The thought of not getting those 11,000 steps. This is when you know you're really motivated by your Fitbit, that you start having a panic attack when it doesn't work. So her boyfriend was like, well, Target doesn't close for another half hour. You should just go now. And I was like, Okay, so I left the house. First, we looked online to see if they had it at Walmart because Walmart's open 24 hours, but the online site said they didn't have it in the store, so I didn't want to take the chance. And Target closes at 10. And then we checked Best Buy, but it cost more there, and we weren't sure what time they closed, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to Target. So I drive, like, I stayed within the speed limit, but I was, like, in a hurry to get to Target. I got to Target at 9:45, and I left Target at 9:57. And that time includes getting some guy to come unlock the thing that had the Fitbit in it so that I could get it, and he had to walk me to the front of the store. So within 12 minutes, I had the Fitbit and I was back out of the store. So I upgraded to a Fitbit 1, and because, I mean, they're probably going to have to replace the Fitbit Zip anyway, and so I figured what I would do is if they do replace it and they send me a new one, I'll just sell that one, and I would have upgraded. I didn't buy the Fitbit 1 at first because I wasn't sure if it was going to be motivating, and I didn't want, because the Fitbit 1 costs $100 instead of $60, and I wasn't sure if I would really be motivated by it. So since I obviously am motivated by it, it was worth it for me to spend the extra $40 for it. And the difference, the big difference is between the Zip and the One, the Fitbit Zip and the Fitbit One. The Fitbit Zip, you put a watch size battery in it, and I've had to replace the battery twice since April. The Fitbit One, my new one, which I can show you actually, I have it on. It is a rechargeable battery, so I think I'm going to like that better. And the charge evidently lasts for about a week. And then the Fitbit Zip, it's just got a little LCD display. You tap it to turn it on to see. This one you actually push a button to see, and you can see my steps for the day. I'm at 2,902 steps. This one tracks your sleep, which the other one does not do. This one tracks how many stairs you go up and down. I don't live in a house with stairs, so that probably won't be registered very often. So those are the main differences. I would say the main differences are the display, the battery, and the sleep and the stairs. Those are the main, they're both about the same size. They come in, I think, about the same colors. They do have a Fitbit that you wear as a bracelet, but I didn't think that was very practical to me. Hi, Rachel. I didn't think that was very I'm telling them about my little meltdown that I had Friday night. She's laughing.
Why am I laughing? Who was over?
Oh, I told them that your boyfriend was over. What do you want? She's wearing a t-shirt that says nerd across the front. It's a sweater. Do you want to show them your sweater?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I'll move the camera. Okay, sit still. Sit still. Should we show your face?
Yes.
Nerd. Very true. Sorry if that made you sick. Hope it didn't make you sick. May I help you?
I was gonna say hi.
Okay, hi.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
So anyway, I got the Fitbit that night, and I finally was able to get my old Fitbit to put in some random number that was in the 9,000 and something. And I was like, 9,000 is better than 0. It's not 11,000. And I was able to walk around the house until I got it over 10,000. And because I'm trying to do 10,000 steps a day, which I had done. I probably was up to like 12,000 by the time you count me walking in the store and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I was happy that I didn't lose those 11,000 steps. So happy. And so I got my new one working and it works fine. So I'm still waiting to hear back from the Fitbit people about what they're going to do. So I will keep you posted, because if I don't get good customer service, I will let you know. And I won't recommend the Fitbit anymore. And I won't buy another Fitbit either. So just saying. So that was my little meltdown that I had Friday night. I was like, really? Where's my Fitbit? I need my steps. You don't understand. And I was like begging on them. You don't understand. I'm going to get 6,000 steps in Spin Class alone. Okay, obsession. All right. Let's move on. I think that's all I wanted to say in fitness. Oh, I am still doing Couch to 5K, but I'm not using the program to track it because I got to the halfway point in the program, but I can't run a mile and a half yet, which is like half of 3 miles. I can run a mile and a half, but I can't run it consecutively. So I don't want to do. So I'm going to keep running and running and running. And when I can run a mile and a half consecutively, then I will. Then I'll resume the zombie thing. But right now I'm just like building up. Like I can run 3 half-mile segments with a break in between. I just can't run that far all at once yet. So we're getting there. I could speed walk. I could out speed walk probably anybody who's running, well, jogging anyway, but this is the running. So, but and I was like, my husband was like, "You're gonna spend $100 on this," and I was like, first of all, how much do you spend on your health every month? Okay. Second of all, um, I said it motivates me to work out, which nothing else does. And um, and I said the whole reason I even want to be a runner is so I can get my steps in faster. I don't even like running. So he was like, "All right, go buy it." Okay. I mean, it'd be different if I had taken the whole day off and I only had like 2,000 steps and it was a rest day or whatever, but I had 11,000 steps. I don't want to throw that away. Really. Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's talk about other things. Let's talk about stash enhancement. I was gifted a pattern by Shalwood, and it is a very cute pattern that I'm pretty sure I had it uh, in my queue. There you go. So this is it. It is, I hope I didn't touch anything. There we go. These are the Mardi Gras mitts. Look how cute they are. Color work, all different colors. This would be great to use up your scraps of various colors. I love it. It's by Hilary Latimer Design. So thank you, Shalwood, for that. And my friend Michelle, the one who I stayed with when I went to Rhinebeck, she lives in Massachusetts, she gifted me for Christmas the shirt that I am wearing. She sent me a few little things, but this is, of course, going to be one of my favorite things, Doctor Who shirt. But she also gifted me a book that was on my Amazon wish list, Knitting Without Tears. This is by Elizabeth Zimmerman, and I only have one other Elizabeth Zimmerman book, which is way up high, so I can't get it. I have her Knitter's Almanac. This is Knitting Without Tears. I eventually want to get all of her books. And I like to read her writing. She's very straightforward and to the point. And from what I have gathered, what people said about this book, she basically says, you are the boss of your knitting. So, and in here she teaches you how to knit a sweater strictly based on the gauge you get for your yarn and the and your measurements. But I think she does that in the other book too, in the Knitter's Almanac. But anyway, from Michelle, thank you, Michelle. And she, like I said, she sent me a few other goodies too. That was very nice. And lastly, for stash enhancement, Annette K18, who's Annette, won some yarn on the Sword of a Knitter podcast, SWORD, Sword of a Knitter, which is Josh. He's adorable. So you should check out his podcast. Oops, there we go. swordofaknitter.blogspot.com. And so she won the yarn from him and asked him to send it to me, which I thought was really sweet. She said that every time he would show the yarn, she would think of me, probably because of the colors. Look at those pretty colors. Actually, it's even prettier in real life than what it's showing there. So this is a single yarn, and it's a single ply yarn. It's by Dragonfly Fibers. It is 100% superwash merino, 475 yards, 4 ounces. It's really, really pretty. So thank you, Annette and Josh. I really appreciate it. So that is it for stash enhancement, I do believe. Let me toss all this stuff out of the way here. Okay, okay, tips and tricks. The tip and trick this week, if I can find what I did with my, oh, here it is. This is something I saw on YouTube. I like to watch various weird things on YouTube, and one of the things I like to watch is people who use paper planners, because I've been using a paper planner since Sarah was a baby, and that is what, 21 years. I have tried over the last few years to use my phone more for my calendar and stuff, and I just really, I guess I'm too old fashioned, and I much prefer paper. So a couple of years ago, I made the switch back to using a paper planner instead of my phone as like, to keep track of. No, I mean, notes I still keep in my phone, but like daily to do lists and stuff like that, I do better if I write it down. So anyway, I like to go on YouTube and look at, like if you go look at Filofax, that's one of the brand names. Go on YouTube and search Filofax or Franklin Covey or Daytimer. People do videos of them, how they use their planner, how they decorate their planner, all kinds of stuff. I'm not really into decorating it, but one of the things that I saw somebody do, actually, I saw multiple people do this, is they create a spreadsheet. So instead of every single day, okay, every day, let's say, I'm going to use the example, brush your teeth. So every day you want to brush your teeth, and you keep forgetting to brush your teeth. So you write down brush your teeth every single day in your your to-do list. So you're writing it over and over again. Well, that's okay. But if it's something that you really want to remember to do every day, um, it's easy to forget, like over this last week, how many days did I actually brush my teeth versus not. And this is just an example. I don't want you to think I don't brush my teeth. Maybe I should have used a different example. So anyway, if you want to be able to track something and see how did I do over the last month or whatever, you could create a spreadsheet. Now, I did mine on the computer, but you could just use regular grid paper or even notebook paper and draw your own grid. I did mine for a month. Actually, I did it from the 27th of December through January 31st because I didn't want to wait till January 1st to start this. So I did mine on a computer, but like I said, you could go to the store and get grid paper or draw your own grid or however you want to do it. So I'm not going to show you my topics, which are over here, but I can show you that I started this a few days ago. Now, the top items are items I want to do every single day. And if I did it, I color it in. And if I didn't do it, I X it out. I can tell you right now that these right here these bottom ones are drinking water. And I know that I need to drink more water. And theoretically, through doing this, towards the end of the month, more stuff should be filled in than not filled in. So you can see this second green one is today, the things that I've done so far today. Now, things that I should have done but haven't done or didn't do are X'd out. So if it's X'd out up here, I obviously can't go, again, using the toothbrush example, I can't brush my teeth tomorrow and have it count for today. But like yesterday, I was supposed to record my podcast, but I didn't. So that is one of these down here. That is this one. And I didn't record it. But since I'm recording it today, I can go ahead and fill it in. What I might actually do is leave it X'd out and then draw a square next to it and fill it in so that I know I did record it late. Maybe that'll be a better way to track how I did things. So things that I want to do on specific days, like this stuff down here was all stuff to do with the shop update. So that's only going to appear on Sundays. And these different various things, like it's things like shipping orders, doing bank transfers, filing paperwork, labeling yarn, dyeing yarn, skein yarn, different things that I need to do. I also have some cleaning and decluttering stuff. Like we have a whole bunch of boxes of stuff that we've had stored for years and years, and we're obviously not missing it or needing it. So I want to get rid of those boxes full of stuff. So I have here to declutter one box. I haven't crossed out yet. Now, let's say today I went in and I decluttered 4 boxes. I would let myself go ahead and fill those in. That's not the ideal way to do it, though. I really should be more disciplined and do each day. That's the goal anyway. So like, I have like, clean off my desk is one of the things I need to do every day. Declutter the living room. I need to do that every day. So there's a lot of things that I want to do every day. Another thing is I want to get up I want to get up in the morning at the same time every day and go to bed every night at the same time because I have really bad insomnia and I need to just, even if I can't sleep, I need to go to bed at a specific time because sometimes it's like 5 o'clock in the morning before I finally fall asleep, but I still don't let myself sleep late. So I started making myself go to bed at a specific time because I can't stand this insomnia anymore. So this is an attempt to try to trick my body into going back to sleep at a normal time. What else is on here? Making my bed. I need to do that every day. Taking my vitamin. That's on here. Oh, remember how I said I wanted to do knit a sock blanket square? I want to do one a day, so that's on here. And so, like, say today I get so busy and I don't get a chance to do one. If I do 2 tomorrow, I will let myself fill in today's. But again, I want to have the discipline to do it every single day. That's the goal. Now, this is the goal. This is not going to be perfect. Like, say there's a day that I am sick, or a day when I have to go out of town, or whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to get all the things done as I would on a day that I'm at home doing my normal routine. Um, so I think that's about it that I wanted to share with that. If you have any comments or questions about that, definitely share it in this episode 120 in the episode thread, and let me know if you've ever tried something like this, or if you would like to try it, or whatever. If you want me to send you the spreadsheet, send me a message on Ravelry with your email address, and I will email you the spreadsheet. And I can send it to you as a Google document or as a Microsoft Excel document. So also let me know which of those you would prefer if you have a preference. So I will let you know at the end of this how I do. I've already thought of a couple of things that I want to add next month, but I'm not going to be compulsive about it and add them now. I'm making notes on the back so that next month when I redo the chart, there's a couple of things I can add. So and one of the things on here is get 10,000 steps a day, because I have the goal that I started on the 27th of getting absolutely 10,000 steps every single day, which I had started on Friday, and that's another reason why I was so upset that I wasn't going to get my 10,000 steps that day, because I had made a firm resolution that for a month I was going to get 10,000 steps a day. Okay, it all ended up being fine. All right, so that's my tip or trick. So again, if you decide to do this, or if you've done it, or if you have any opinion about it, let me know. What I am watching and reading, I am still reading A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. As I mentioned before, Denise from the Knitting Den podcast has been talking about how she's reading it. Star Trek Enterprise, I am very much enjoying it, and it seems to be getting better and better. I am, I think, near the end of season 1. And then The Age of Innocence. I've been listening to that book on the Craftlit podcast, and it is so good. There's only 1 week left. If you want to go and listen, it's on the Craftlit. It's an audio podcast. If you just Google Craftlit. And Age of Innocence starts on episode 305, and I highly, highly recommend listening to that audiobook. And she explains it. She doesn't just play it. She explains it. So because she used to teach English, I think on a high school and a college level. So there's a lot of stuff that she knows about that the average person wouldn't know about. So really, really interesting. So go check out the Craftlit podcast. I think the next book, I can't remember the author, but it's North and South. It's not the American North and South. It's evidently North and South England or London. Now I don't remember. But it's North and South. It's a book about England. So should be interesting. I have never heard of it, but I'm sure it's good. If she's picking it, I have faith that it's good. Let's see. Favorite things. If you've been watching a while, you know that I love pencils, and I have a pencil collection. It's actually grown quite extensively since I started this podcast. Thank you. So my daughters, when Sarah was home back in November for Thanksgiving, the 2 of them went Christmas shopping and bought us a few things. One of the things they bought me was a gigantic pencil. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, so I wanted to show you guys. Rachel saw it and was like, "We have to get this for Mommy. You don't understand her obsession with pencils." And Sarah was like, "Well, anyway, she'll use it." Rachel's like, "Oh, she'll use it." So it's really cute. It's Lisa Frank. It's got kitties and puppies and unicorns on it. Whatever. And it even came with a big giant sharpener, which I don't know how you're supposed to sharpen it if it's at that end. I guess you have to take it off. So that was my favorite thing of the week, one of my favorite Christmas presents. We didn't do a whole lot of small presents this year because um, we decided this year for Christmas it was going to be all about television. So we bought a new, larger television because our old television actually has been dying for a year. The picture keeps going out randomly, and I just, well, one, this was mainly my husband's idea because I don't watch that much TV, but I was afraid that during a Doctor Who episode it was going to go out, or I think he was sort of afraid that with the upcoming Super Bowl the TV was going to go out. So he bought us a new TV for Christmas, and then my part of the Christmas present is we finally got DVR, which I know we're like 10 years behind everybody else, but um, I don't watch a whole lot of TV in the evenings because he likes to watch his sports and she likes to watch whatever. So I'm usually here in my knitting room anyway. So now I can DVR TV programs that I do want to watch and just watch them during the day while they're gone, and then they can have the TV at night. So it's all working out. We did get a smart TV. It's a Samsung. This is really cool. It's a Samsung Smart TV. My phone is a Samsung and my tablet is a Samsung. I can actually control the TV with my phone and my tablet. I can like I know I'm so excited. I can go into YouTube and pick a YouTube video, and then I've already set it up. You have to do a little setup first. But I find the YouTube video and then I just push this little button and it automatically plays the YouTube video on my TV. I know. Now, if you don't have that capability, there is something that we were going to get, but Joe bought the smart TV. He bought it without me being there. There's something called Chromecast. It's put out by Google. It's only $35, and you can stream things. As long as you have an HDMI port in your TV, you can stream like Netflix and various other things. And they're always adding new apps that you can stream through. And I believe, I'm 99% sure you can control Chromecast with your phone or tablet. So if you don't have a smart TV and you want to stream stuff like that and you don't want to buy a Roku or all that kind of stuff, get the Chromecast. It's only $35. And I've heard rave reviews because, I watch a lot of Android podcasts because I'm a geek. And they all go crazy over the Chromecast. So, if you haven't heard of it, go check that out. Okay, now we have knit and crochet alongs and events, and I'm super excited about this. In January, February, March, we're gonna have a sweater knit along. Any adult sweater you have to cast on January 1st or after. You have to finish it, have it blocked, buttons sewn on, and ready to go if it has buttons. By March 31st, it has to have a picture in the thread, completely done, ready to wear to visit the Queen or the President on March 31st. Then I'm going to close the thread early in the morning on April 1st, and we will have prizes. So far, I am donating 2 patterns, $7 or less. If you are an Etsy seller or an Artfire seller or whatever, and you want to donate prizes to the Sweater Knit Along, let me know. And like I said, I don't know yet which sweater I'm going to be doing, but I will be casting on a sweater. I'll at least be swatching, which is very important. I will be swatching at least. Well, maybe I'll swatch before if I decide. You can swatch before, by the way, if you want to start early. Okay, next thing I'm really excited about is we have the informal knit along with no prizes of 12 pairs of socks in 2014. And what I did, and in fact, I'll bring up a picture if I can find it while I'm talking. I took, oh yeah, wow, that was convenient. I balled up or caked up 12 different colorways. And here's my picture that I had posted. I posted it to Instagram and other places. So I caked up 12 different cakes of yarn. And I put them in brown bags, and I have them on a shelf over there, which you'll see when I do my craft room tour. And so a couple of days ago, I told Rachel to pull one out for me. So I have no idea what is in this brown bag that I'm about to open. So I'm opening it so you can see which will be. So what I'm going to do is the first of every month, I'm casting on a new pair of socks, whether I have finished the other socks or not. That's going to be my motivation. So it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to cast on, and then whenever I finish that, I'll do the next one. No. January 1st of every month, I will cast on a new pair of socks. So that's my motivation. I got to finish these so I can, not have 17 pairs of socks like I did during Sock Extravaganza. So I'm going to open it now. Now, if you do want to do this, the tag that I am using for it is SockBunny 2014 socks. I know some other people are doing this also. There's another podcast doing it, but I can't remember the name of the podcast off the top of my head, so I'll talk about that next week, and I'm sorry that I can't remember. I remember her name is Kim. Best name ever. Okay, are we ready? Which yarn is it going to be? Ooh! Ooh! It's a surprise! It is my very own Birds of a Feather! Yay! I have no idea which pattern I'm going to do. What I want to do, actually I do know. I'm going to do vanilla socks, but I'm going to do the new Fish Lips Kiss heel that I've been wanting to do for like 6 months, ever since, I can't remember who it was gifted me the pattern, but thank you. The Fish Lips Kiss heel is only $1, and everybody loves it that does it, so I've been wanting to do it. So I'm going to do vanilla socks with the Fish Lips Kiss heel in my very own Birds of a Feather. Yay! So I can cast it on theoretically after midnight on New Year's Eve, but remember, I'm trying to have a regular bedtime schedule, so I'll be casting these on a Wednesday morning. Yay! Okay, so that is for the 12 pairs of socks in 2014. Remember, the tag is SockBunny 2014 socks. Yay! Now, you don't have to do 12. You could say, I want to do 6 pairs of socks in a year, or I want to do 3 pairs of socks in a year, or I want to do, like one lady on Instagram is doing 14 pairs of socks in 2014. So do it however you want to do it. I'm doing 12. So whatever you want to do, it's your knit along. This is an informal sock knit along for the year. All right. Okay, next section is, see, I thought this was going to be a short one. How many podcasters have said this is going to be a short one, and it's not? We should never say that. Okay, so the next section is Ask Sock Bunny, and the first question is by Julie R. Knits. Now, Julie, I hope that you were being sarcastic, and I hope that if you were being serious, that I don't hurt your feelings by laughing. So she wants to know, why do patterns say to break yarn? How does the item you are knitting or crocheting know the difference? So if you don't get that, a lot of patterns, when you're done, it'll say break the yarn and weave in your ends. Instead of cut the yarn and weave in your ends. She wants to know, how does the project know that you broke it instead of cut it? I don't know the answer to that one, but it did make me laugh. Okay, and then SD Jolly says, where did John John and Mrs. John John go on their honeymoon? Now, if you are a new viewer, John John is my stuffed bunny, and he's the mascot for the show. And he is married to a very lovely bunny named PJ, for Pink John. And they have 2 lovely little bunny children, baby Betty and baby Zeke. And when PJ and John John got married, they did go on a trip to Hawaii. They went to Hawaii. And I am such a nut. I should probably not confess this. But when they were on their honeymoon, I actually put them in the closet so that they would be gone. Okay, I know. And actually their wedding anniversary is January 3rd. I can't remember what year it was, though. But Sarah was still home, so it had to have been at least 5 or 6 years ago. So I know I really shouldn't confess these weird things to you people. Okay. All right, so that is it for the actual podcast. So I'm going to talk about retreat stuff very briefly for the remainder of the podcast. So if you don't want to hear about that, feel free to leave. But before you go, let me remind you that you can ask your own questions in the Ask Sock Bunny or John John thread in the Ravelry group. Don't forget to post your prayer requests in the appropriate thread. Even if it's an unspoken prayer request, you can put that in there. Don't forget to enter your fitness in the fitness threads. So I will see you later. If you're not hanging around, have a great week. Happy New Year. Keep on crafting. If you are hanging around to hear about the Sock Bunny retreat, not a whole lot of new news, except I want to remind you that the last day to sign up is tomorrow, the 31st. You can email me your registration if you haven't had a chance to mail it. And payment is a firm deadline of January 4th. I'm not going to accept any more payments after that. Now, if for some reason you can't get your payment in by January 4th, but you still want to attend, I am going to I'm going to put a thread in the group for if anybody cancels, you could take their place. If more than one person signs up in that thread, I will do random number generator to pick. It's not going to be first come, first serve. It's going to be random number generator. Whoever um, wants to come in the place of the person who has to cancel. So I am having a firm deadline of the 4th to get your payment in, or you will not be on the list. Sorry, I have to do that because I have a bunch of vendors who are sending stuff for everybody's goodie bags, and that I want to be able to give them firm numbers. So whatever the number is on January 4th, that's the number. Okay? Okay. And the retreat is going to officially start at noon on Thursday, but we do have the room 24 hours. I am going to spend the night at the hotel the night before, I decided, because I haven't said, but the day before the retreat starts is my birthday. So that day, that Wednesday night, I'm going to spend the night at the hotel, and then so I'll be down in the room early because she said they generally set the room up the day before. So we have the room the whole day, but the retreat officially starts at noon because I had to pick a start time. And then let's see, what else did I want to say? Oh, if you've already made your flights, could you please, please, please give me your flight information and let me know if you need a ride. Some people are needing me to pick them up at the airport. So if you do need me to pick you up at the airport, you need to let me know. And let me know your flight times and all that kind of stuff. And I'm more than happy to do it. So don't think you're being a burden. And what else? It's not too late to donate. So if you have an Etsy shop or if you just want to donate stuff, after January 4th, I can let you know how many goodie bags I'll be making up. I think it's going to be around a dozen. That's about how many people we have signed up so far, unless we get a few last minute people like today and tomorrow. But I can let you know on January 5th the exact number of attendees. And so you can either send one item as door prize, or you can send a bunch of items to go either as door prizes or in the goodie bags, whichever you want to do. We have quite a few fabulous door prizes coming. I'm not going to tell you who. When things start coming in, I will start talking about who is sending, because I want to promote the people that are sending items. But I don't want to ruin the surprise, I guess. So what I might do is say if you're attending the retreat, you would turn the podcast off at that point, or close your eyes or whatever, and everybody else could see it and you won't. That way, because, I want people to be surprised. But I do want to promote the people that are sending door prizes. Let's see. Oh, if you are doing a sock yarn blanket, if you want, Heather WB said she's going to bring a big bag or box of her scraps, her leftovers, for people to take some from. I'm going to do the same. I'll bring all my scraps, and you can just take what you want. So if you have some sock yarn scraps that you want to donate to the cause, you can bring those. We'll just set up a table where people can go over and take whatever yarn they want, and then you just take your leftovers home with you when you go. So if you want to do that, or if you want to start a sock yarn blanket, if you need help. Now, another thing I want to say is I do have a few things up my sleeve as far as random demonstrations and stuff like that. So if you have something that you like to do, it doesn't have to be knitting related. If you want to give a demonstration, you can. I can't give you an example of what I'm doing yet because it's a surprise. But as far as knitting goes, I'm going to bring stuff to demonstrate how to do beaded knitting, because I know a lot of people are still scared of that. And also there was a couple of other things, maybe like how to do fair isle knitting or whatever. So if there's something that you don't know how to do and you want somebody to show it during this time, go to the SockBunny group and post in the chatter thread about the retreat and say, I want to learn how to do needle felting, or I want to learn how to do blah blah blah. And I'm sure somebody who's coming will know how to do that and be able to do a informal brief demonstration about it. It doesn't have to be a full-blown class, but anybody who wants to do something like that, feel free. Um, if you are going to be wanting me to buy snacks for you before you arrive, just send me your list and I will buy those for you, and you can reimburse me when you get here. And I think that is all I wanted to say. Let me look at my notes. Oh, check in at the hotel is at 3 p.m. and check out is at noon. I can't remember if I've said that before. I think that's it. Yay! 49 minutes. Short podcast, right? Okay, so that is it. I thank you very much for watching. This has been a crazy year, 2013. 2014, I'm sure, is going to be just as crazy, but in a good way. I really appreciate you watching, especially if you are a returning viewer. I really appreciate that. And if you're a new viewer, I hope you like what you saw and that you will keep coming back. And if you haven't joined the Ravelry group, hop on over and do that. I guess that's it. I hope you have a great week. Keep on crafting. Happy New Year. Bye.